Hello, hello. Let me just check my levels here, and hopefully... Yeah, so last week I had my mic on the wrong setting, and it gave me some really bad audio, but I couldn't even tell. When I was monitoring, I just couldn't hear it in the headphones. So hopefully this time we'll be good to go. But welcome to the stream, folks. I've got some sort of Barnes & Noble Christmas music going in the background. Some of it's just holiday music, I guess, and not specifically Christmas music. But anyway, this is what YouTube had on offer. No, I'm not going to start things off with Silent Night. Oh, yeah, this is a hot one. Okay. Yes. How's everybody doing? Welcome to Listory Month. We made it. Hooray. I forgot to get the applause sound effect ready, but you get the idea. We made it. It's finally December. So we can now embark on our 5th annual Listory Month, wherein we make lists of as many different things as possible, in the hopes that people will watch the videos. But yeah, we're here in Listory Month. I don't know if it's certainly not a translation of Listory Month. I guess it's a translation of Month of Lists, but I'm not sure whether that's correct because my French is not all that impressive. Anyway. But yeah, for real, the Listory Month thing, it's just a gimmick thing that I happened to come up with, what, a week ago? Something like that. And I'm already very well aware that on YouTube, December, or just like holiday season in general, so like just November leading into December, is apparently a very, very busy time for professional YouTubers and also a very, very potentially profitable time for people who do YouTube stuff for a living. And that's not me. This isn't my job. I still haven't made any money at all off the channel. But regardless, I thought, you know what? It's an interesting time of year to be posting videos. And it seemed like a bit of a challenge for me to try to do kind of typical, what would be considered typical YouTube-y content in a way that I could actually stand. So I've been trying that out, and I'm sure that the relative importance of each list that I make a video about is probably going to decrease steadily over time, because I don't think there are too many things quote-unquote important for me to make lists about. But that's okay, that's not going to stop us. Who cares whether the thing is important? Let's just talk about it anyway. Put it into a list, categorize it, qualify it, compare it against another thing like a piece of meat. Yeah, in general, I'm not a huge fan of, like, I don't know, rating or scoring media. I've never been a huge fan of that. I used to care a little bit about award shows just because it felt like a way to validate some of my own feelings about certain movies or music or whatever it was. But I've kind of steered away from that for quite a few years now. So it's more or less just a joke at this point, just something fun to do, compare media, say something's better than something else. And as we can see here, I have a very fun thing we can do, incredibly inventive and high-tech, is that we just make lists actively. And I think what I'm going to do is that I'll just start adding stuff to these lists, and that everyone can see if anybody shows up to the stream. I don't know if anyone's here, but regardless. I'll put stuff on the lists, and if I'm assuming people will either take issue with some of the things that I say, or they'll agree. Either way, I think it's a good way. It's a good conversation starter, you know? I've got to grab my coffee. I've been tired all day long. Oh my goodness. this music, man. This is the good stuff. Remember the good times. Yeah. This one I should be able to do pretty quickly. Okay. Silver crystal. What other ones do people like? Yeah. Not including yellow. Oops. Capital. Oops. Oh, we're good. I know how to spell sapphire. Not to show off or anything. Does that have like a colon or something there? Seems right. I'll just do that for now. I much prefer the Ruby Sapphire pinball to the original Pokemon pinball. That's just my taste, but yeah. I guess I should tab these over, or it's gonna get kind of confusing. Look at that. Okay. And I think that might be the end of the list. What else do people like? Pokemon. Puzzle League? This is a good brain teaser. I don't know if I can really call this a brain teaser. What's a holiday specific candy that I can even think of right now? Okay, stand by that. Oops. This is tricky. I'll put it at the end, so it'll be less confusing that way. There we go. That should narrow it down a little bit. Okay, what else? What's another good holiday candy? I've got this. I can definitely think of some. Some that are like nationally and internationally recognized. I guess they don't really do Cadbury eggs for Christmas, huh? Or for any of the winter holidays. I don't think so. Wow, I might have to come back to that. What else came out this year? No, that would be mean. I was going to say something mean about a certain game. Easy enough. There's that new Italian one that came out. I thought it was going to be an Italian adult animation movie that was coming out on Netflix. What was it? Where the paper has been torn, tear along the dotted line, something like that. I thought it was going to be a movie. Apparently it's a series based on one video that I saw pop up on YouTube. I still haven't checked it out. I still haven't thought of anything there. But I do want to see it. It looks okay. It looks very Gen X-y, as I think I said before. So maybe I'll watch that one, but I can't include it in the list right now because I haven't watched it yet. Hey, Purple. Purple is here. Purple says, List-cember. Yeah, that's probably a better name than what I don't really know what the history component is of Listory Month. I suppose there's an implied history. Since it's on a yearly basis, right? Since this is the, 5th annual Listory Month that we've done. It's a yearly thing. It's the history of 1 year. Unless it's too recent to be history. What other animated shows came out this year? Somebody's got to help me out on this one. I haven't watched the new episodes, but I'm gonna assume it's been good and that people have liked them. Unpacking. Yep. Beautiful. Yeah, Purple, if you can think of any holiday-specific candies, let me know. I don't think we can include, like, cookies. You know what I mean? I don't think that that's in the category of, like, baking. I don't really want to go for, like, bakery stuff, fresh-made things, just, like, packaged candies. Purple suggests M&M's. Well, I know they do holiday stuff. Weren't the minis? Didn't they used to have the tube of mini and M&M's for the holiday stuff? I could include that, but only the minis. And how do they format M&M's? Is it like that? Beautiful. Red tube, very important. But that looks like something else. Green. I'm sure they did a red and green tube for holiday time, right? Why are red and green the holiday colors? That'll send you off on a fascinating Google journey. Yeah, what other games came out this year? Maybe I should look at my my log. Oh, Death's Door was pretty good. I'll put that on the list. I mean, I didn't finish it, but it was pretty good. Psychonauts 2. Yep. Yep. Very good, very good. Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky when you're just sitting there. Unless you have like keep a list of all the things that you've played and watched in a year. But I also don't tend to watch too many brand new animated shows and movies. I tend to be kind of late to the party on those. Which is maybe contradictory given the YouTube thing that I've been trying to do. I wonder how much longer I'll give this list thing until I move on to something else. What else can I... Purple says the candies that are in a candy cane container like Reese's and M&M's. Oh, do they do like special tins of holiday candies or something? Here, let's... Oh, I did hear of one. Oops. I think that's how Reese's... I should know how Reese's is spelled. Well, that's a good question. Which kind of candy canes? Do they still make the Sour Patch candy canes? Okay, here's the thing about the Sour Patch candy canes. This is very important. I'm glad I have the opportunity to talk about these things on my streams. They're kind of awful, the Sour Patch ones. Because, like, here, let's put some on the screen. Let me find a suitable image of Sour Patch candy canes. Oh, they're different now. This is not what they used to look like. And now I've got to find the ones that I grew up with, because those are clearly the most important ones. Does anyone else remember what I'm talking about? Like, there were these little tiny Sour Patch candy canes that were just a solid color. Like, they didn't have any stripes. And they tasted kind of awful, but that was part of the appeal as well. I'm just gonna... whatever. I'll put up the new ones. It's fine. $3 for a box of these. That's a steal. I can do that. Here, let's put them on the screen. Image candy canes. Execute. There we go here. I don't see the candy canes I just downloaded. How confusing. Huh. That's okay. I'm going to find them. Don't you worry. Anyway, Sour Patch ones are probably some of my favorites. Although I did like those older ones because they tasted kind of like dirt. Any sour candy that you have too much of, it's just way too much. You know, like it starts to mess up your tongue. Of course, the big example there is like what do you call them? The warheads, right? If you just had more than like 3 warheads in a day, you were gonna be messed up for, I don't know, a couple weeks. There we go. Look at this. We're just gonna keep filling this screen up with images of our favorite things. Oh, now I want to watch Sound of Music. I don't think I could do that on the stream. Purple says, I looked up candy canes and saw Oreo candy canes. I don't know if I'd want that. So like, but it's hard candy, right? Oreo. Oh my goodness. Are there reviews? Maybe Amazon has some reviews of this one. 4 stars. 4-star average out of about 500 ratings. That's not the best that it could be. Let's see what some of the ratings say. 1 star. Disappointed that they wouldn't box it so the candy canes wouldn't arrive broken. That was a little confusing. Very disappointing. Therefore, rated lowest for poor planning. Wow. So we get no information about the flavor of the Oreo candy canes there. Do not buy from seller. Broken and unusable. Unusable. I guess if you were trying to hang it from something. Wow, there are a lot of 1-star reviews here. Half were broken. Package came in a sealed plastic bag. They were broken. That's what everybody says. Arrived perfectly, and they taste really good. This is definitely a real review. The interesting part is that if you are expecting an Oreo taste, then it is not the cane for you. The taste is interesting. It starts out almost like a very light, nondescript coffee flavor. And as you continue on, it ends up tasting like a Tootsie Roll. Well, thank you, Purple. Now I've learned quite a bit about the Oreo candy canes that I don't think I want. I don't think I want those. Sour Patch candy canes. Beautiful. Let's ask the internet for holiday candy. Okay, what do we have here? Reese's Kisses, Hershey Kisses with the candy cane kind, so it's like peppermint. Those are pretty good. Kit Kat, Sweet Cinnamon. I have never seen those before. This is a somewhat interesting rabbit hole we got going here. Candy canes, you come down here in the hierarchy of OBS. Image. Candy 2. Huh, sometimes they just don't show up. Okay, I guess I can't keep adding candies. Anyway, what's going on? How's everybody doing? How are you doing, Purple? Has it been a pretty okay week? I think it's a kind of exciting time of year. I do like the holidays, even if I'm not necessarily doing something big for the holiday season. I still enjoy the feel. I like the very surface level stuff. I like seeing the, what do you call it, just decorations around and things like that. I think it's pretty nice. But yeah, it hasn't gotten busy so far. I know holiday stuff can get very busy. Lots of different things going on, potentially parties and obligations and things, and certainly if you're the kind of person to do any of the holiday shopping for other folks. I'm kind of in between on that. I used to do a bunch of like gift giving for holidays, and I've tried to cut it back a little bit. It was a bit too much, I think. If you're shopping for like, I don't know, more than 5 people, it can be a bit of a project. It's quite an adventure. But yeah, only had to shop for a few people this year, I think, and I think I have it all done by now, which is good because supply chain, remember that the supply chain is messed up. I feel like every news outlet tries to bring it up. in every article. Purple says, I still remember that rabbit hole with the Cat Boys. Oh, the Cat Boy rabbit hole. That was a very early stream. I think that might have been like one of the first 3 streams that we ever did. And now that you mention that, I wonder if that game is on sale, because I did put it on my wish list. Let's see what we got here. I'll take a look. Neko. No. No. Oh, I guess I didn't save it. Now I'm never gonna find it on Steam. Nekopara is the thing, but I don't think that's what we're talking about. Anyway, Purple says, my week's been good. How's yours? Yeah, it's been okay. It's starting to get a little bit busier. And with, of course, you know, considering Listory Month, woo, Listory Month, I have been, making more stuff than usual. I've also been trying to make videos that can release this upcoming week, because I'm going to be out of town for about a week. So I just want to have some stuff appearing on the channel, even though I'm not going to be actively working on new ones. So hopefully a couple of those will be done, and we get to put them out next week. And then when I get back, I just have to hit the gas again, I suppose. There's so many lists yet to do. It's very important that we get all these lists out. The internet needs to know what I think of all these different topics. So it really feels like a calling. You know what I mean? Let me get some water. Purple also asks, what's your favorite Christmas movie? Which is a good question. It's a classic question. But I'm down, and I have to I need to just think of movies, Christmas movies, other than It's a Wonderful Life, because in my brain, that will always be the big Christmas movie. It's a classic. Even growing up, before I actually watched it for the first time, they have a scene from, well, it's referenced in a lot of other media, for sure, but specifically, they referenced a famous scene from that movie in Sesame Street. I think it was a holiday-themed episode of Sesame Street. And I didn't know what it was. I was just like, oh, look, it's an old movie on the TV. Was that like the grocery store or something? What was the guy's name? He died. Anyway, so even before I watched It's a Wonderful Life for myself, it's always been in my brain as a Christmas movie. And it's certainly one of the Christmas movies I enjoy the most. I do like some other classics. I like White Christmas for its corniness. It's just like old Hollywood sets that are very obviously sets, but they still look nice and charming and everything. And the songs, most of them are pretty good, with a few key exceptions. And Elf, I know people love Elf, and Elf is now considered to be like a modern classic for Christmas movies. I was never huge on it. It had a lot of hype for when at the time of release, because I was still a kid, or mostly a kid at the time. And yeah, everybody my age thought it was just the bee's knees. So everybody was talking about Elf. Everybody loved Will Ferrell stuff at the time so much. But yeah, it was never quite my thing. In terms of more recent Christmas movies that I think will probably become classics, Klaus or Claus in the movie. It's basically just Klaus, but yeah, it's a Netflix original, and it was from some animation studio in Spain, I think. I forget the name right now. But I love Klaus. I just rewatched it maybe a month or two ago, just for fun, and the story's not very good. The music choices are not very good, especially like the pop songs and stuff. But the visuals in that movie are just fantastic, and it's a combination of 3D models and then 2D like skins and textures, but it looks fantastic. It basically looks like a 2D animated movie, but with like the depth of not real life, but like a great illustration. Kind of storybooky, kind of looks like concept art for a lot of movies that you'll see. But I love Klaus. Yeah, I love it so much. And I know it's just a short film, but I recently did a video on Robin, which is a Christmas-themed short from Aardman Animation. I loved it. I thought that was really fantastic. So I don't know if it counts as a full Christmas movie or not, but it's a great time, specifically for animated stuff, especially. It's just wonderful. But yeah, what's everyone else's favorite Christmas or just holiday movie? I know most holiday movies are Christmas movies just because that dominates the market. But please, if there's any other ones you can think of, does anybody care about 8 Crazy Nights? I don't think I ever saw 8 Crazy Nights in its entirety. Yeah, I don't think I did. I remember seeing commercials for it at the time of release. That's about it. I have no idea how people feel about that one. I could see it being like a cult hit these days. Oh, I also love the old Rankin Bass stuff. You know, the Rudolph and Year Without a Santa Claus, right? And then what's the one with Jack Frost? I don't know. Anyway, love them, and I actually need to get to watching those pretty soon because those are like very yeah, they're very important to me for like signaling that it's the holiday season. Big fan of those. But yeah, what do other people like? What are your holiday hits that you go back to and like want to watch? Not the ones that you just feel like you have to watch out of a sense of tradition, but the stuff that you actually enjoy watching. Hugo, good morning, everyone. Oh, hi, Hugo. Good morning to you too. I hope everything's going well. I hope it's been a good week, and this is even more casual a stream than usual. I think we are just chilling. People still say chilling. We're chill. Hugo also says the more you are talking about it's the 2D cartoons. The movie I was talking about, yeah, Klaus, the 2D cartoon that was made to look like 3D CG movie. Yeah, so it does incorporate 3D assets. There's a good insider video that's like behind the scenes, you know, and stuff. But basically, yeah, they work off of I think they designed a program or like a script that would generate shadows as if the 2D assets were 3D. It's very complicated, so it's forgive me for not having everything 100% down there. But it's visually, to the average person, it's a mix of the two. It has the shading of a 3D kind of setting and 3D objects, but they're not. Yeah, I do think the finished product, however we, define that, was officially 2D. I'm sure it qualifies as 2D animation. Not that the distinction is all that important. But I love it. I love Klaus so much. I wish I could show some of it on the stream, but I can't because Netflix is... I think they're getting a little bit more aggressive with content ID and copyright stuff, or maybe it's just my imagination for some reason, but it does kind of feel that way. What else can I have here? Purple says, I was going to say Elf, Home Alone, or The Santa Claus. Ooh, okay. Okay, well, let's talk about these picks. Yeah, Elf, I think now is considered more or less a classic, or just a lot of people still like it, so that's fine. Home Alone, obviously, yeah, that one's been a classic for quite a while. And fun fact, I think it's hard to tell. I maybe saw some of Home Alone when I was very young and growing up. But I watched it on Thanksgiving, and it was probably the first time I've seen the whole movie. So that's a little bit shameful, I guess, just because everyone knows that movie. Everybody's seen it. But especially, people around my age, so many people just grew up with Home Alone, or the Home Alone franchise, since there's so many of them at this point. What is it? There's just a new one, isn't there, on Disney Plus? It's like a reboot. Anyway, I thought it was pretty good. I'm still not crazy about like kid shenanigans and dumb cronies that get beat up with cartoon violence in kids' movies. That was the thing around that time. Mouse Hunt, for sure, was the same thing. The first live action 101 Dalmatians movie with Glenn Close as Cruella, that one has very similar stuff, and I think the sequel to that movie also has similar like physical comedy of bad guys getting beat up with cartoony stuff going on. Anyway, but yeah, so that was Home Alone. Home Alone was pretty good. It was pretty good. It's definitely better than those other movies I just mentioned. And yeah, some decent acting. I didn't realize Catherine O'Hara was even in the movie, but she's good in it. She's good for the role. She's very funny. And the other one you mentioned was Santa Claus, which is the Tim Allen one. Yeah, and for the longest time, I didn't realize that the title was a pun. Because when I was a small child, I wasn't familiar with the difference between Claus and Claus with an E, which is, of course, the legal term. A segment of a legal document or something like that. Anyway, that was another one that I definitely grew up with. I have very fond memories of specific aspects of the Santa Claus. So, like, specific tech in the movie, even though that sounds kind of funny because the tech is very dated at this point. But, like, the elves have all this cool gear, and they're flying around on the jetpacks. And then they soup up Santa's sled with, like, instead of a CD player, it's a cookie dispenser thing. And, like, it has speakers or something like that. So it is very goofy, and it is very 90s. But I like it. I mean, I don't know if I could say that I'm crazy about Tim Allen in general, but certainly at the time, I thought he was good for the role. He definitely looks like a dad. He looks like a suburban dad. And he was just fine in the sequels to the Santa Claus are another discussion that we could have, because 2 was very different, and 3 was kind of a return to form, sort of. Anyway, but the first one, yeah, I think most people would consider that to be some kind of classic, or at least like a 90s Christmas movie classic. Either way, worth a watch, right? Purple says, Happy December, Listory Month. That's right. It's one of those. I already forgot no, it's Listory Month. Listory, I should have gotten the air horn sound effect or something going. Or just the English one I could have made bigger. Whatever. Whatever, it's fine. Yeah. I'm sure I'm sure they're really good, like, niche Christmas movies that I'm either forgetting or maybe just ones that I haven't even heard of. That would be an interesting thing to delve into. I guess it's kind of late to do a video on that this year, because I do think it would take a lot of research. But yeah, sort of like cult Christmas movies, I guess. I mean, there's like Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 that people love so much. There's a bunch of terrible Krampus movies in addition to the good Krampus movie that was, 2014, 2015? That has like Adam Scott and Todd Packard from The Office, whose real name I forget. But yeah, there's smaller stuff. I definitely think that Krampus movie's been forgotten, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good, like, holiday action kind of, not action, horror movie, I guess. Hugo says, Tim Allen was going to go to jail on a cocaine bust, but he snitched on his dealer back in the early 90s. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that story was that was like an internet, not a meme exactly, but that was bouncing around the internet several years ago of like, whoa, we didn't think this of Tim Allen, but look at this. He's got kind of a shady past. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, most people are not that fond of him right now, but he certainly hasn't been like, I don't think he's been like full on canceled, I would say. I think for the most part, he's just, yeah, people are like, I'd rather not cast him. He has that show. I don't know. I don't think he's quite cancelable, but he's fine. I don't see him in a lot these days. Hugo also says, I remember watching a movie called Santa Claus, 1959. This movie was wild. If I'm thinking of the same one that you're thinking of, it was actually a low-budget movie made in Mexico, I think, and has some very weird elements. I know there's a movie called Santa Claus. It's tough because it's such a terrible title. I'm sure there are a lot of things just called Santa Claus. But yeah, if I'm remembering that one, Merlin is in it. There's a bunch of like children from around the world who like help Santa out, I guess, with something. I don't know if they make the toys. That seems not very tasteful. But yeah, Santa Claus, man. I think we're talking about the same movie, but yeah. It's very low budget. Very low budget thing. Okay, well, what else can I put on the screen? Sorry, I was thinking of so many things to do visually for the stream, and a lot of stuff fell through, and it's actually the anniversary of the GameCube today, so I was going to do some stuff in Dolphin, but that stopped working for me. So, I don't know. I don't know what kind of entertaining thing I can put on here. I guess I'm supposed to be entertaining. Well, let's see how that worked out. I did, as part of the Steam sale, I ended up getting, what do you call it? The big, giant, humongous entertainment, like, package that has all the games. Well, it says it has all the humongous games, but it's not. It's just all the ones that they've published to Steam. That's been great. I don't know if anyone else cared about the humongous entertainment games from the 90s and early 2000s. I have some very fond memories of them. I've been thinking about doing a video. Maybe that'll end up in Listory Month too. Why not, right? There's room for everything. Anyway, I love those, and I've been having a good time with them. Specifically, I did Pajama Sam in No Need to Hide When It's Dark Outside. And I also did Putt Putt Travels Through Time, which was the only putt-putt game I actually had growing up. But it's probably the best one, in my opinion. That might be a controversial statement to some. But I think that's probably the best putt-putt. And I haven't done any of the Spy Foxes. I was kind of into Spy Fox as well. And Freddy Fish I was way into, so I'll probably try to play through the whole Freddy Fish series. Anyway, but I don't know if bringing one of those up in the stream would be the right call. Hugo says, yes, it's the same movie. It's free on YouTube. He fights the devil, yes. And those kids are his workers, yeah. Yeah, I think one of the alternate titles for the movie was like Santa Claus versus the devil, or Santa Claus versus Satan, or something like that. Should we put some of that on? I wonder if we'd get in trouble for that. I mean, if it's already on YouTube, right? I'm live. Thank you, YouTube. 1959. Let's see what we get. Yep, this is it. Well, I guess let's go on an adventure and see if we can show this without getting in trouble and getting the stream taken down. Fade out our music here. There we go. And now I need to add another window capture. And this is going to be YouTube Santa. YouTube Santa. Perfect. Oh, wait, I didn't want to do that. But I can do this. That's not too bad. Sorry, let me arrange it on the screen a little bit better. Yeah, this will be interesting. Let's see if we get in trouble for this. El Diablo, there he is. Lupita. El Niño Rico. Let's skip ahead a bit. Oh, we got the devil. Look at this.
But will he be able to keep his promise?
The spirit of Christmas something. Oh, wow. Whoa, is that a doll? That is a doll. What? Oh, I don't like that. Ah.
On Earth, the children can hardly wait for Christmas Day. They gaze long.
This is good. I probably won't do the whole thing, but let's see how much of this we can watch.
Here is a good little boy whose daddy is quite rich.
Oh. So I guess he's all set. Get out of the way.
This mother, on the other hand, is
Oh.
very poor.
Oh.
This is her daughter, Lupita.
Oh.
Her fondest dream is to own a doll. Any doll.
Oh. Any doll? I feel like you could make one, right? Out of like corn husks, maybe? Those dolls don't look very fun to me. Okay. Merry Christmas. Okay.
Who are these three? Say, it's rude to push and shove like that.
Yeah, don't do
The
that.
devil likes rude little boys, and it doesn't take him long to
Oh
find them.
no.
They're just right for his evil plan.
Yeah, I shouldn't watch this too intently. I should just keep the chat going, keep the conversation alive. So I'll turn it down a little bit. But it is here, and we all get to enjoy it. We all get to enjoy the magic. Yeah, even just like, I don't know, not royalty free, but like, yeah, old low budget Christmas stuff or holiday stuff that no longer really has active ownership. I don't know whether it slips into public domain eventually, or if it's just a thing of the copyright holders not renewing the copyright, and then it's like, whatever, no one's going to go after you. As we were talking about the other week with the copyright stuff, you actively have to put your content into a content ID system for it to be identified. So if people don't care about that, then they're not going to put their work in, and you can just post it wherever. And specifically to YouTube. So yeah. Oh.
The naughty boys are not important.
Oh.
They will get punished in due course. The ones I must reward are the other.
Oh, so Satan handles... Okay, so he doesn't give coal, I guess. I guess Satan just ruins their lives or something?
We'll find out what they're doing. This is Santa's Magic Observatory.
Oh, wow.
Wonderful instruments. The ear scope. The teletalker that
Yeah, this set design is wild.
telescope. The master eye. Nothing that happens on Earth.
The Master Eye. Oh, so this is how he sees everybody. Oh. He uses technology. Wow. These sets are not bad. I mean, it is low budget, but like, this is okay. Oh my goodness. Oh. I guess I also don't like the idea of a giant telescope being able to see everything I do. Although I guess that's kind of what we're dealing with now. Sort of, with satellite imagery, I guess. This eye thing's kind of cool.
I think I found a girl.
Where is she?
In Mexico.
Oh. Is this the poor girl who wants to... Whoa! Look at that! It's like we're in outer space. Oh. Oh, that was an interesting transition. I'm not enjoying the puppet show.
It's Lupita, all right.
Oh, she's gonna steal one of these dolls.
That doll she wants for Christmas.
Oh my goodness. Hugo says that's why It's a Wonderful Life. The rights of the movie were not renewed, so TV stations started to play it every year. So I can't stand this dub. It's not very good. Oh no! Now I like terrible dubs. That's one of my things. But we will not watch the whole thing because it's way too much. But I will see if we get any interesting visuals. Oh, I like this. Oh, it's just like a puppet. Looks like put a ball in a sock. Okay, yeah, this is a little slow. It maybe didn't need to be a full hour and a half. There's one other one that I can think of that I don't think we would get in trouble for showing it. So let's find out. This is another pretty famous one. Let's see if somebody has uploaded it. Oh yeah, Pizza Fix. It was a Mystery Science Theater. Oh, so we'll be fine. That was their whole thing, right? Mystery Science Theater would just go for like, yeah, kind of public domain movies, stuff that no one would care about. But yeah, this has some fantastic costuming. The sets are a little basic, especially compared to the Santa Claus versus the Devil sets. This is like nothing. Oh. Oh.
goes deeper than that. They're
Okay.
behaving strangely. They appear to be troubled. They don't care to sleep.
Oh.
I use the sleep spray on them again.
Sleep spray. No, we don't use that. No, stop.
And I learned it's the same with children all around the planet in every district.
Oh.
Something is happening to the children of Mars.
I think this is a prequel to
As leader of the Martians, you must do something about it.
Total Recall. Okay, so wait, I know we skipped the whole first act, but like, or almost.
The ancient one.
Are the Martians different from humans, or are the Martians just humans who happen to live on Mars and like they've been there for a very long time? You know what I mean?
Council chiefs,
Oh, look, we got a wizard guy. He looks like Planet of the Apes for some reason. I think it's the hair all around his face. But yeah, this must have just been a TV movie. Whoa, look at this dude with the mustache. Oh, look, that guy has a mustache too. Whoa, buddy. That man is so tall and skinny.
we'll set down in that field near the lake.
Oh boy, what did I get myself into here?
Rotor rockets number 1 and 2, fire. All this trouble over a fat little man.
Whoa. Hey, easy, man. Is this just like scuba gear?
The Defense Department has just announced that the unidentified flying object has suddenly disappeared from our radar screen.
Oh.
They believe the
Oh, I don't know about that. That seems like the Star Wars trash chute, you know, with the collapsing walls. I feel like you wouldn't want to go in there. Yeah, this is also pretty boring, huh? I did watch this one at some point, but it was a bit of a slog.
As a matter of fact, I was just looking in there to remind myself never to hide in there again.
I bet.
Approaching North Pole.
Oh, almost got caught. Almost looks like a freezer, like a floor chest freezer.
Prepare for landing. Hargo, set the rocket silencers.
Wow. This would be good on mute. Like if you put this on in the background of a holiday party, I think that'd be kind of fun because you get the great visuals, but you don't have to deal with, you know, the terrible story and acting. Although some of the bad acting is fun.
Santa Claus was kidnapped by Martians.
Ah, darn.
Darko, get back to those children and don't let them out of your sight.
Okay.
Yes, sir, I understand. I'll keep an eye.
Oh, that guy messes everything up. He's going to do a bad job. Look, they're right there. He just passed them. They're in the radar box.
We've landed.
Oh, my goodness.
You remain on guard and have the ship ready for immediate blast off. Rigna, Hargo, Goldar, you'll accompany me. Come. We'll activate Torg.
Tog. To capture a roly-poly little man like Santa Claus?
Wow, they're really dogging on Santa's weight. They're really drilling down. I don't know if that's fair. That's like Santa's whole thing. It's part of his identity. They don't need to be so mean about it. Okay, I'm just about done with this. This is not the most entertaining thing.
Ship, you can take his spacesuit off.
The blocking, everybody's just like standing around. It's like a Fox animation domination comedy show. There's a very timely joke. Everyone's just, whoever's not talking is just standing stock still and staring. Don't make them do anything. There's no secondary action. Everybody's just standing around. Okay. Yeah, I think that's enough. That's enough. But I'm glad we tried. I'm glad we gave it a go. Here, I'll put my fun holiday music back on. Ah, so classy. Bookstore music. I love it. Anyway, Listory Month. Yeah, I have a couple other videos in the works. Like I was saying earlier, I've been trying to finish up a few things that I can schedule to release next week. And then when I'm back at home and working on things again, yeah, I want to just do lists on more and more meaningless topics. I think that'd be fun for me, at least. I hope it's fun for other people too. But yeah, so far I think I have another 2 made already that I'll just get posted whenever I can. And yeah, I think the first one just posted this morning. So that'll be good. And I'm also totally open to suggestions, of course, as I am with most stuff with the channel and different videos I plan to make. So yeah, if anyone ever has any suggestions for stuff that they would like to see me talk about, just let me know. Or if you disagree with some of the stuff that I have made, that's cool too. Just leave a comment or whatever. But yeah, I will get to some animated stuff. I will be making lists about animated entertainment. But I think I'm going to have to do animated movies and animated shows separately. I don't know. They're just such different categories. And I tend to watch a lot more animated movies than shows anyway. So it kind of feels good to get them separated. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll just keep trying to find more and more we can do. But yeah, there it is. Hugo says, grow tiny seeds. It seems like a poem or something. Grow tiny seed, you are called to the trees. Rise till your leaves fill the sky, until your sighs fill the air in the night. Lift your mighty limbs and give praise to the fire. So that's either like a psalm or something from like a horror movie, I think. That's just the vibe that I pick up from that. Let's see what I get when I Google it. It's Over the Garden Wall. It's Come Wayward Souls. There you go. The composer's cut. Oh, I see. Yeah, I wonder if people would get mad if I talked about Over the Garden Wall as one of the favorite animated shows that I've seen in 2021. Because I certainly haven't watched a ton of brand new stuff, so I probably don't have enough material for that kind of list. But fact of the matter is, I rewatched Over the Garden Wall, I think 2 or 3 times this year. And it was great every time. It still holds up incredibly well for me. So it's definitely remained among my favorites in terms of animated anything, really. So it'll, if I were ever to make lists about favorite animated stuff or animated shows, yeah, I think Over the Garden Wall would pretty much always be there. Yeah, it's just so, I don't know, it's so rock solid. And I guess winter is still kind of a good season for Over the Garden Wall rewatches, because a lot of it is obviously themed around autumn. You have the trees with the leaves changing color and everything. But you do have your snowy scenes towards the end when everybody's at their lowest, so it makes sense thematically, right? So it can be a winter show too. But yeah, man, it's just the best. It's so well done. And I hope we'll see that again. I know I haven't heard anything about Cartoon Network doing more limited series. The only exception I can kind of make is Distant Lands, the Adventure Time Distant Lands. I guess they didn't even call it a limited series. They just called it, like, you know, basically TV specials, but direct to streaming. So it's kind of in between the two. And I never even watched Distant Lands. But anyway, so that was kind of a Cartoon Network thing, even though it went right to HBO Max instead of to the channel. But I think, at least as far as I can, off the top of my head, that's the only other sort of limited series they've done since Over the Garden Wall. If anybody knows of some others, please let me know. I just think it's a really good format for doing something a little bit more, I don't want to say experimental necessarily, because I really don't think Over the Garden Wall is really experimental. It's different. It's trying out a very specific idea. It has a very specific tone. And I also don't think that it really could have supported 4 or 5 full TV seasons, especially because the animation seasons are so long. When you have, 11-minute episodes, you can have what, more than 20 episodes per season, if not a lot more. And I don't think it would have supported that format. But anyway, if Cartoon Network wants to be crazy and try out some more ideas, put different kinds of people in charge, or kind of like Pixar's Spark Shorts, right? The equivalent of that with the Cartoon Network, I think, would be the limited series. Make it an event, you get lots of views during the initial week or whatever it is. You can even if it's going direct to streaming, you can still release it a week at a time to kind of build up hype. Anyway, that was some rambling about Over the Garden Wall and limited series, but I do think it's a good formula. I do think it's a good way to try new stuff out. And that was also the case with Robin, and I talk a lot about that in the video I made on Robin. But yeah, just the idea that, okay, if you're gonna greenlight a somewhat stranger idea specifically because it's going to be a limited series or a short film as opposed to a big long project, that's fine. Just do a bunch of those. You can still have your 1 or 2 features a year or every few years, and then have all these smaller projects coming out more frequently. You get your name out there more often. I think it's a winning formula for sure. Hugo says, but you weren't able to pick up on the song? No, without the music, I did not recognize any of that. He also says, at Adventure Time, some does 11 minutes, some had like 50 episode seasons, so it was like a new episode almost each week. Yeah, that's insane. I mean, I know the Cartoon Network outsources a lot of the actual animation that's going on in their shows. Regardless, that's an insane amount of work, and I'm sure they have everything planned out way ahead of time and everything scheduled out, but my gosh, even just the idea of writing that many episodes, despite the fact that they're just 11 minutes long, that sounds completely insane to me. And if I was the showrunner, no thank you. I don't want to get involved in that at all. Yeah, my goodness. Oh man, I'm so tired today. What is it? Am I really going to make even more coffee at like 7 p.m.? That doesn't sound like a good idea to me. Let me see if I can do this. Open. Okay, now I try to do window capture. Okay. Oh, there we go. Look, here it is. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna play some balloons for a while and hang out. And yeah, we'll see if we get some more folks in the stream. But in the meantime, which one do I really like? Is it TD3 or 2? Probably 2, but where is it? Tower Defense Games, please. Here's 2. Oh, now it's another window I have to capture. Hold on. Oh, I also need to turn off that sound. Let's do medium, I guess. Sorry, gotta rearrange some stuff here. Hugo says, yes, Pendleton Ward got burned out. Their story where he would not put much info or input on the episodes. Yeah, and I think there was around the time, I forget which year that was, and I think Pat McHale, who created Over the Garden Wall, I think he's the one who took over. Maybe I'm wrong. I'd have to really go back and check that out. Why did my window go away? Sorry. Anyway, I want a tack shooter here. Don't have enough, so I guess I'll do a oh, I can't even do another dart monkey. But yeah, I think there was around that time, whatever year it was. Come on, tack shooter, you got to do better than that, man. Okay. Yeah, there's a Rolling Stone article, a pretty short Rolling Stone article specifically about Pendleton Ward's transition from being the showrunner on Adventure Time and like the creative lead to taking more of a, I don't know, behind the scenes role, I guess we could say. I think towards the end he was basically just doing storyboard stuff. Hugo, you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I know you have a lot of trivia on different shows and stuff. Anyway, so it's interesting. It would be interesting to get like a full feature-length documentary about Adventure Time, especially now that it seems to be actually done for good. Maybe we'll see some more from it if they think it's going to be profitable, but I think it might just be done for good. But anyway, no, I do think that's an interesting idea of like, you're the guy who came up with the idea for the show. You're on it forever as the show creator. Oh, I'm doing very poorly in this. Wow. That is, that's pretty bad. Sorry. I've been playing balloons for a long time, and I went too expensive on this one. Just do easy mode. Just do easy mode on stream. What's the big deal? What was I saying? Pendleton Ward, yeah, on Adventure Time. But yeah, the idea of, oh, this is your baby. Like, this is the show that you've worked really hard on. I'm sure it was very stressful to try to, pitch the show in the first place. That kind of sounds like a nightmare to me. Although it would be exciting if there was a real chance of it getting greenlit. But yeah, and then the fact that he just kind of faded away, I think it's also easy to romanticize that idea of like the smart guy, came up with all these great ideas, just stepping away from it, stepping away from the work. And at the same time, like you can tell from the years that Pendleton Ward was actually a showrunner compared to the much later seasons, it's a very different feel that Adventure Time had, in my opinion. And I get the feeling, based on interviews and other projects that Pendleton Ward has done, I get the feeling that a lot of the creative energy he was bringing to the table was just like very goofy, random humor, just crazy stuff happening. Oh, this character pops up because we drew him and he looks kind of neat. We don't need to explain how he got there or who he is or anything. Just have crazy stuff happen all the time. And then it seems later on, whoever was the showrunner who took over, it seems like a pretty significant shift towards continuous storylines, right? There's a ton of... I want to upgrade this, please. You start getting the continuing storylines, right? We had Stakes with Marceline towards the end. We had Islands. Just all these different plot lines. Finn's arm is a continuing thing later on. I get the feeling that was after the creative leadership changed on the show. It's just my impression. That's not confirmed. But anyway, so in that case, it's even more interesting to consider Pendleton Ward kind of pulling back, because I think I like the latter part of the show more. I do really like the continuous storylines. I enjoy getting some lore. It's one of the few animated shows where I actually care about lore and world building stuff that's going on. So yeah, maybe it was a good move all around for him to kind of, step back a little bit. It's very interesting. I haven't heard of any documentary in the works about Adventure Time, but something I did hear about this past week is the Sesame Street documentary. I'm doing very poorly here. Yeah, there's a Sesame Street documentary coming out through HBO Max, I think. Pretty soon. I think it's in the month of December. It might even be next week. And I forget what it's called already. The Guys on the Street? That would maybe not be a great title. Anyway, regardless, I really want to see it. I was a fairly big fan. I don't think I'd call myself a fan of Sesame Street when I was a kid. I don't think I was a fan of anything. I just enjoyed watching certain stuff. But yeah, the Muppets in general and like the Henson Company stuff. Yeah, this game's awful. Sorry, I'm doing a very bad job. We're going to play easy mode because I'm on stream, so I have an excuse. Yeah, or here? Yeah, okay. I don't have enough. Oh, I do. Oh, no, almost. Okay. But yeah, I'll try to watch the Sesame Street documentary. I think there was also a documentary about just like the Muppet Jim Henson team in general a while back. But I didn't see that one either. But yeah, I'm a fan of the Muppets. I even talked about a Muppet movie in one of my recent videos. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe the Sesame Street one will be good. Documentaries that end up releasing on HBO Max or previously HBO Go, they seem to be pretty good. Some of them carried quite a bit of hype. Remember, like the Scientology doc that wound up on HBO? That was a big deal. I think the Michael Jackson one from a couple years ago was straight to HBO as well, as far as I remember. So I've got my fingers crossed. It could be neat. And yeah, getting some of the history and behind the scenes stuff of Sesame Street. In general, yeah, I don't know, especially since it's puppets, I just enjoy seeing them actually being controlled and stuff, and what the guys are doing where we can't see. I understand puppetry to an extent, but I have a hard time visualizing how everything's controlled sometimes. Oh, Hugo's got the name for me. Thank you, Hugo. Street Gang. How we got to Sesame Street. Okay, so not as bad as The Guys on the Street. That is an okay title. But then again, Street Gang. Okay. And it does seem from the trailer that they're going to try to deal with issues of, like, representation in the show, and specifically, like, you know, having a bunch of people of color on the show from pretty early on, and how that upsets some folks. But I mean, I was worried for a second, for for a moment, I was worried that when they teased that aspect in the trailer, that was going to be something about like, oh, by the way, the guys who worked on Sesame Street were terrible. That doesn't seem to be the case. They seem to be the good guys all around in this situation. So I'm really hoping that holds true. I think a similar thing happened with the Mr. Rogers documentary that was then followed up with the Tom Hanks movie, and I never ended up seeing either of them, although I think it could be interesting. Oh, I'm going to lose some. That's okay. Anyway. Yeah, it was when I heard about that documentary, the Mr. Rogers documentary coming out, I was at least a little bit worried that it was going to try to reveal something that sullied his character, as is so often the case with like hard-hitting documentaries. You know, they'll say the negative stuff about the person, which is good. I totally respect that, especially with regards to certain problematic public figures, celebrities, things like that. But with Mr. Rogers, apparently the documentary just revealed that no, he was exactly as nice as he seemed. And everything's cool. Everybody just loved him a bunch, and now they're in a documentary talking about how much they love him. So there you go. So maybe it'll be a similar thing here with the Sesame Street doc, where it's just like, no, they were just cool dudes, and they worked hard, and they were pretty funny, and they made a great show. Which I guess is still running. I think it's one of the longest running shows in American television, as far as I know. Yeah, tower defense games are actually pretty good for the stream. So yeah, I won't stream for too much longer. I don't know, another 10-20 minutes, I guess. And then I got to do some stuff. As I mentioned briefly at some point, I'm going to be doing a bit of traveling, so I have to do some preparation for that, and packing, all the normal stuff. So I can't stream for too long today. And in terms of next week's stream, I think I'll be able to do it. I think I'll be able to do another stream on Thursday at 6 p.m. I'll have to see. Yeah, I'll still be traveling, so it depends on the circumstances, I suppose, and internet capabilities and the computer I have on hand. Oh no, I'm losing very badly. That's okay. So we'll see. We'll see about that. But if not, that's okay. I could always just skip that week, and then 2 weeks from now we'll have another stream. But yeah, I'll try to come up with some more stuff. I'll try to crank out some more Listory videos. And yeah, I think that'll close out the year. It's kind of crazy to think about, just because I more or less started the channel, well, for real, in like, I don't know, early 2020. I think it was like February of 2020 where I released the first video in sort of the style of the stuff I do now. That was more video essay, talking about a couple specific pieces of media, comparing them. Yeah, I think that was February 2020. So coming up on 2 years for the whole channel, actually. And that's interesting to think about, just because it doesn't feel like 2 years at all to me. I've definitely tried to put out a decent number of videos during that time, but it's changed so much, and the subject matter has changed a lot too, and certainly the style of the videos, and especially my style of editing, has changed a whole lot since I got started. And hopefully it's improved since I started out. But yeah, it's just, yeah, it's wild to think about. 2 years. I don't know. Hugo says, did Purple leave? I guess so. I think Purple was saying goodbye with the Listory Month greeting. That's cool. I'll probably end pretty soon anyway. Yeah, I'll probably just start wrapping up. And get to packing. But yeah, and I guess we can try to, yeah, maybe I'll lose this game and that could be the ending. But yeah, I'm doing very poorly. The cannons are pretty good. This monkey has no upgrades. Oh my gosh, this is awful. Yeah, let's try to save this game, and then that'll be my ender, I guess. What can I upgrade here? Extra range I'll do in a second. Come on, get the yellows. Thank you, thank you. Oh, I think it's Bloom's Tower Defense 3 where you can really upgrade the attack shooters like crazy. They get pretty wild, yeah. Faster shooting I did already. Extra range, I guess? I don't know. This is not my usual setup, and it's not performing very well, is it? That's okay. We'll take the hits. Okay. We're doing all right. Hugo says, yes, it's a good thing that Roger did not turn out like Jimmy Savile. Oh, yeah. Yes, certainly an appropriate comparison, I guess, since they were both doing stuff in children's media, I think, right? But yeah, Hugo says, be careful on the Omicron on your travels. I'll do my best. I can't make any promises. But yeah, as long as I have Wi-Fi wherever I go, I think we can keep things moving. Oh, I have a bunch of money that I didn't spend. Oh no, bigger bombs, please. Thank you. Yeah, I need something much faster. What's like the fastest one? We only have a couple towers here. Boomerang monkey's not bad. What level are we on here? 15. Okay. Let's see if we can make it to 20 without dying. We'll be fine. But thank you, Hugo. I'll do my best to be careful out there in the Wild West. All the craziness. No, it's funny. Yeah, I'm you know, planning for a plane trip, and I haven't been on a plane for at least 2 years, maybe like 3 years. And it's fine. I don't have a problem with flying or anything like that. But just like, especially at holiday time of year, the stress of like psyching yourself up to go through the airport during the holiday season, or anytime really, where you know it's going to be busy, and especially now with the mask stuff, which is also fine, but like it's going to be a very long amount of time to wear a mask and have it fog up my glasses and not be able to see anything. Is that some kind of intimate detail that I wear glasses? Anyway, so we'll see how it goes, but I haven't been incredibly excited about the idea of, yeah, heading back to the big airports and stuff, especially here in LA. Like LAX is just, it's just crazy. It's so much to deal with. It's so huge, and there's so many people, and it's very tiring, like immediately. Anyway, but you know, when you finally end up at the airport and you get through the stuff, it's never as bad as you think, right? Security's not that bad. As long as they don't yell at me for my carry-on bag, I think we're okay. That's my big goal. Come on, Boomerang Monkey. This is a useless upgrade, but I guess I'll do it anyway. Okay, we're almost at 20, and then we'll call it quits. Yeah, I wish I could upgrade the dart ones or two. I guess not. That's fine. That's fine. Did that already. Yep. Okay, we'll make it through 20. Cool. Hooray. That's not the end, but that's the end for us. Well, there it is. Possibly one of my shortest streams, and it's mostly improvised. But thanks to anybody who came out for the stream, as usual. Thanks to anybody watching the archive version on YouTube later on. If you have any comments, thoughts, of course, please feel free to share them with me. And other than that, I hope everyone's doing well, has a great weekend, and yeah, I guess that's about it. Pull up the stream, and I'll finish it off. All right, goodbye, everybody, and thanks for stopping by.